You know what misled me most about America when I was a kid in China? The flirting lines in old Hollywood movies. I was like, this country must be a holy land of culture. Like, people are so witty and romantic and also sarcastic without being a dick. Why can't we all talk that way? So back then, the imported foreign movies were mostly dubbed, and those highly trained voice actors would mimic how Americans talk but do it in Chinese. I was sold. I totally tried to talk like that. And some other kids were like, why do you talk like a fucking capitalist? I don't remember a lot of specific examples, but you can check out the opening scene of this movie. You'll see what I mean. I'm not just talking about those pickup lines, because most of the time those characters don't flirt for the sake of sex. It looks like they just enjoy the art of talking, and there's no aggressive or sexually explicit jokes, and men totally respect women's boundaries and everything. But it turns out it was all just artistic exaggeration. Or maybe even propaganda, who knows? Because it sure worked on me. I was totally in love with America. But now I've seen the real shit, especially during the last few election cycles. Oh my god, this is a country of Joe Rogan, if not Andrew Tate. There's no such thing as a healthy and upbeat romantic culture. I saw this video of a real encounter. So this man was trying his luck with a woman, and his first sentence was judging her for TikToking in public. So basically a light version of slut shaming. And then in the same breath, he offered to buy her a drink. Like, dude, are you actually trying to mansplain someone into sleeping with you? Like, what's the thought process here? I'm 99% sure who he voted for, by the way. Can you guys at least study some old movies before putting yourself out there? Like, watching Andrew Tate won't help you. So Tate and his Nazi buddy Nick once said something like, if you like to hang out with your wife, you're gay. Turns out I've been gay this whole time. No wonder I'm so creative. I mean, how can you learn about relationships from someone who claims to be straight but then only wants to surround himself with male hormones? I don't get it. I don't get how young boys just went crazy for Andrew Tate. This other influencer, Aiden Ross, famous for homophobia, okay? He built a name by insulting gay people. But then one day he went to sniff Andrew Tate's chair during an interview with him. If those Hollywood movies showed me these people, I would probably be like, I'm not going there. I'm good. But the tricky thing about life is that you'll regret it either way, right? If I hadn't come here and hadn't been exposed to the American internet, I wouldn't be disillusioned, and I would just keep dreaming about this American wonderland with verbal artists just roaming the streets. And by the way, if someone does present some noble demeanors, they will probably be considered outsiders because they don't understand young men. I have a theory why so many people found Joe and Kamala out of touch, even though they are not nearly as rich as the other guy. I think it's because they are actually close with their spouses. Okay, they actually flirt in public. How dare they, right? A healthy, light-hearted romantic relationship makes you out of touch because it's so fucking rare in America. Oh wow, it's rare in any country, I know. But somehow I think Americans are less cool about it. That resentment about normal romance may be a factor that pushes men over to Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, and of course the incel in chief. I mean, the resentment is understandable. I don't want to blame people for being unhappy because no one chooses to be unhappy. But if you don't know how to enjoy verbal interactions with your romantic interests, I really want to advise you to watch those old movies and learn a thing or two. But not Gone with the Wind, please. That shit is not just the slavery whitewashing, but I think the sexual chemistry in the story is also pretty unhealthy. A lot of obsession and manipulation kind of bullshit, which is kind of fitting for the Confederate weirdos. I don't know. But there are a lot of healthy old movies. Try Breakfast at Tiffany. So good. And The Apartment. I don't think there's a modern movie that romantic. Or Casablanca if you want some thrill. Or any of the Hitchcock movies. All good. Hitchcock was not just about suspense, by the way. He had very charming characters. So if I could learn something from them as a kid who didn't speak English, so can you. I probably wouldn't have been able to win over my wife if I hadn't done my homework and learned to be a gentleman. It's actually useful. I know the old movies aren't realistic, sure. But the reality is shitty, isn't it? Sometimes we need to make life unreal to feel good. That's why we do all the unreal things like art and music and poetry. Or even video games, fashion, baseball. None of these things are real, strictly speaking. They're all human constructs with fictional premises. If you dig any of those things, I don't see why you can't enjoy a civilized way of romantic interactions. We're social beings. Why do we have to play a primal caveman when it comes to sex and relationships, right? If you think about it, Andrew Tate's sexual philosophy, in essence, is really the caveman philosophy. Territorial, reproductive, non-consensual. If you believe those, you should probably, fuck off to the mountains. And you will blend right in with all those hardcore mammals. Humans already invented better ways of interacting romantically. Just like we eat from a plate, not the fucking dirt. So why not give them a try? Make flirting great again.